Ever wonder how diamonds are made under pressure? Coins stamped with precision? Or silver pulled from deep underground? From raw earth to polished perfection, we'll uncover how each one is created step by step. Let's get into the world of diamonds, coins, and silver. Diamonds begin their life over 100 miles underground. At that depth, carbon atoms are crushed together under extreme pressure and heat, around 2200 degrees Fahrenheit. This doesn't happen in a day. It takes over 1 billion years for a diamond to form. But diamonds don't just sit around forever. A volcano acts as an elevator, pushing them up to the surface, up through tunnels known as kimberlite pipes. That's how we get access to them, by digging into ancient volcanic rock. Some diamonds also make their way into rivers and gravel beds through erosion. These are called alluvial diamonds, and they were the first to be discovered by humans thousands of years ago. Diamonds were originally mined in India, and for many centuries, diamonds from India were the only diamonds in the world. Then came Brazil in the 1700s, followed by South Africa in the 1800s. Not only did this dramatically increase supply, but it also marked the beginning of the modern diamond industry. Then along came a marketing genius. In the 20th century, De Beers launched a campaign that changed the world. The simple phrase, "a diamond is forever," turned diamonds into a symbol of eternal love. Engagement rings weren't a tradition until that slogan came along. Now, it's the global standard. But today, diamonds don't have to come from the earth at all. Thanks to modern science, we can now grow real diamonds in labs. The two main methods are HPHT, high pressure, high temperature, and CVD, chemical vapor deposition. These lab-grown diamonds are physically, chemically, and visually identical to mined ones, but they're a lot cheaper and more ethical. Because, let's face it, traditional mining has a dark side. Digging for diamonds can destroy landscapes, deplete water sources, and harm wildlife. And there's also the issue of blood diamonds, stones mined in conflict zones used to fund wars. Efforts like the Kimberley process were created to stop that, but critics say it hasn't done nearly enough. So, whether it's formed in nature or grown in a lab, every diamond carries a story of pressure, power, and a lot of polish. Now let's shift from sparkle to steel and talk about coins. Every country has a mint, and no, we're not talking about the candy. A national mint is where coins are made, and it plays a critical role in any economy. Without it, we'd have no spare change for vending machines, parking meters, or that satisfying jingle in your pocket. Today, modern mints are powerhouses of speed and precision. The US Mint alone produces billions of coins each year, sometimes over 10 billion. It's not just about volume, it's about accuracy. Every coin needs to be exactly the right weight, size, and detail. But the coinage goes way back. The first known coins came from Lydia, an ancient kingdom in what is now Turkey, around 600 BC. They were made of a natural gold-silver mix called electrum. Fast forward to 1792, and the United States established its first official mint in Philadelphia. Back then, coins were made of real precious metals, gold, silver, copper. But that changed in 1965 when rising metal prices forced a switch. Coins started being made from cheaper alloys like nickel and zinc. They looked the same, but cost far less to produce. Still, the designs often stayed the same. Think of the Lincoln penny, around since 1909, or the state quarters that became a collecting craze in the early 2000s. So how does a coin go from an idea to your pocket? It all starts with design. Artists create detailed sketches, which are then carved into steel dies, basically molds used to stamp the image onto each coin. Next comes blank cutting, where metal sheets are punched into coin-sized discs called blanks. The edges are shaped, and then comes a process called annealing, heating the blanks to soften the metal. After that, they're cleaned until they shine. Then comes the most dramatic step, striking. Coins are stamped under massive presses, some weighing over 200 tons. In just milliseconds, both sides of the coin are imprinted with extreme detail. But not every coin makes the cut. Quality control is tight. Any flawed coins are rejected, melted down, and recycled back into the system. Finally, the finished coins are counted, packaged, and sent out to banks and businesses all over the country. So next time you pick up a quarter, remember, it's not just change. It's the end product of centuries of history, industrial power, and razor-sharp precision. Now, let's talk about silver, one of the most useful and underrated metals on Earth. Silver isn't just for jewelry. It's used in everything from solar panels to smartphones, thanks to its unbeatable ability to conduct electricity and heat. The US is one of the world's top silver producers, with major mining operations in states like Nevada, Idaho, and Alaska. But America's love affair with silver goes back much further. In the 1800s, silver triggered its own kind of gold rush. Huge discoveries in places like the Comstock Lode in Nevada made headlines and fortunes. This silver boom shaped U.S. money policy for decades. The Coinage Act of 1873 ended free silver coinage, sparking a fierce political movement for the return of free silver, where citizens could bring their silver to be minted into coins. It became such a big deal that it even made it into presidential debates. But how do we actually get silver from the ground to your wrist, phone, or coin? It starts underground. Silver is mined using drilling and blasting methods to break up hard rock and expose the ore. Once it's pulled from the earth, the ore goes through crushing and milling, where it's ground down into a fine powder. This powder is the key to unlocking the silver hidden inside. Next comes concentration, which separates the silver from the waste. This is done using processes like flotation, smelting, or sometimes cyanide leaching, depending on the type of ore. Once concentrated, the silver isn't pure yet. It has to be refined. That's where techniques like electrolysis or copulation, which uses lead to pull out impurities, come in. After refining, the silver is over 99.9% pure. Now, it's ready to be shaped. The molten silver is poured into molds to form bars or sheets, which can later be rolled, cut, or cast into whatever form is needed. Coins, jewelry, electronic parts, or industrial components. Each piece is then polished to bring out that clean, reflective finish silver is famous for. But as with many natural resources, mining silver comes at a cost. Digging deep into the earth can damage ecosystems, contaminate water, and scar landscapes. That's why many modern mines now focus on land reclamation, filling in pits, planting new vegetation, and restoring water systems. Some also manage wastewater carefully to reduce pollution. And thankfully, silver is highly recyclable. Old electronics, jewelry, and even X-rays can be melted down and reused, reducing the need for fresh mining. So while silver may look shiny and simple, its journey from mine to product is anything but. It's a story of chemistry, history, and responsibility hidden behind a shine. From diamonds to silver, coins to cutting-edge labs, what seems simple often hides an incredible story. If you enjoyed discovering how these everyday wonders are made, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment telling us which one surprised you the most.